J-E-L-L-O.
The Jell-O program brought to you by Jell-O and Jell-O Pudding, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with One on the House. The biggest dessert news in years. That's what folks everywhere are calling Jell-O's new locked-in flavor. Never has Jell-O tasted so rich and delicious. Today, it's even better than ever, and all because of a wonderful new process that locks in all of Jell-O's grand flavor, keeps it from fading, keeps it at full strength till the moment you use it. Today, Jell-O's vivid original goodness is locked right into the tiny Jell-O particles, where time can't touch it. It's protected against fading or changing in any way, and it comes out of the package just as rich and full-flavored as it went in. Prove it for yourself. Open a package of Jell-O. Notice that there's no heavy, fruity aroma, no sign of escaping flavor. But when you dissolve the Jell-O, you unlock its captive goodness, and out it pours for your pleasure. So order Jell-O tomorrow. Look for the big red letters on the box, and be sure to get Jell-O. The flavor never goes away. We put it in, and it's there to stay. Was One on the House, played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take you back 3 days and show you how Jack Benny entertained the gang on Thanksgiving. The time, 2 p.m. last Thursday. The scene, the kitchen of Jack's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Jack, Mary, and Rochester preparing the dinner. Take it away.
Now, what else? Oh, yes. Rochester, hand me those little plates there, will you?
Here you are, boss.
Let's see. A black one for Phil, a green one for Alice, a black one for Don, a green one for Mrs. Wilson, a black one for Mary.
Say, Jack, make mine a green one. I don't like ripe olives.
All right, I'll switch you and Don. There.
I'm hungry. I think I'll eat mine now.
Drop that. I don't want you to spoil your appetite. You know, we're having wild duck for our Thanksgiving dinner.
No chipped beef this year, eh?
Not unless we run short. Rochester, what are you putting in that dressing?
I thought a dash of gin would snap it up a little.
What? Who ever heard of putting gin in dressing?
On Central Avenue, it's a must.
Well, I don't want it in this dressing. And put that gin back in the first aid kit. Oh, Mary, take a look in the oven and see how the ducks are coming along.
Okay.
What was that?
They're not quite done yet.
Now, look, that noise came from some live ducks I've got in the basement. These ducks here should be done by now. What time did we put them in the oven, Rochester?
About 10 o'clock last night.
Let's see, that's 16 hours. They're done all right. They sure look tender, don't they, Mary?
Tender? The middle one looks like Humphrey Bogart.
What an imagination. Now, Rochester, take each duck and stuff the dressing in it.
I ain't gonna touch old Humphrey.
Cut that out. Now, get busy and stuff those ducks.
Okay, where's the shoehorn?
You don't need a shoehorn. Now, let's see, a green olive for me, a black one for...
Say, Jack, why don't you give those olives a little company and put some celery on the place?
Celery? Okay. Open the icebox and get some.
I don't know the combination.
It's 45 right, 23 back, and 10 right. That's it.
Can I borrow your pencil, boss?
Don't bother writing it down. I'm changing it tomorrow. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, a green one for me, a black one for Billy Getz. That must be Dennis. Open the back door for him, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Send that kid on an errand. He takes all day.
Where'd he go, Jack?
Over to Ronald Coleman's to borrow something.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're always borrowing from Mr. Coleman.
That works both ways, Mary. Within the last year, he's borrowed over a dozen of my best eggs.
Your eggs?
Yes.
His chickens laid him in your garage.
That doesn't make any difference. That's the same thing as the grapefruit near the fence. What hangs over is mine. Even Coleman's lawyer admits that.
Well, don't ever hang your head over the fence or Coleman will pick your toupee.
Ha, 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 I'm screaming.
Here's the punch bowl you wanted, Mr. Benny.
What is that?
Here's the punch bowl you wanted.
Thanks, kid. And what have you got in that bag?
Some corn. Mr. Coleman says, please feed it to his chickens.
I've been feeding him plenty. Now, Dennis, the gang will be here pretty soon, so rub some of this burnt cork on your face.
Okay.
Burnt cork, what's that for?
Dennis is going to help serve dinner tonight. It's an emergency. I hired Rochester's brother, and he didn't show up. What happened to him, Rochester?
I was wrong, boss. He got 60 days instead of 30.
Oh, well, I can use him New Year's Eve. Now, Dennis, Rochester will be busy here in the kitchen, so it'll be your job to... Whoop, there's the front door. Now, here's your chance of practice. See who's at the door, Sylvester.
I's going, Mr. Benny. I's going.
Say, that's all right.
That boy does the worst blackface I ever heard.
Not so easy. I'd like to hear you do Irish sometime. Come on, Mary. We'll sit in the music room until the gang gets here.
A jukebox and an old fiddle, and you call it a music room.
Don't run down that jukebox, Mary. And incidentally, I wish you'd stop playing it with lifesavers. You got it all sticky.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are here, Master Colonel Benny.
Don't overdo it. Well, hello, Don, Peggy. Welcome to the Chateau Benny.
Oh, hello, Jack.
Hello,
Hello, Mary.
Mary.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Well, you're looking fine, Peggy. Take Mrs. Wilson's coat, Sylvester.
Yeah, the yuck.
I wish he'd hold it down a little.
Well, 2 servants tonight. You're kind of putting on the dog, eh, Jack?
Well, it's a big party. Gee, Peggy, I'm sure glad you and Don were able to come to dinner today.
Yes, I am, too. Don's been gaining weight again, and I'm so happy he's someplace where he can't overeat.
Good. Well, I hate to disappoint you, Peggy, but there's going to be plenty of food on that table.
Yes, and I love chipped beef.
We're having wild duck. Now, let's have a little music while we're waiting. Mary, put a nickel in the jukebox.
I've only got one. I'm saving it for the apple machine.
All right, I'll put one in. That is if I've...
Here's a nickel, Jack.
Thanks. Say, here's one of Phil's records, Chattanooga Choo Choo. He sings the chorus on this one. Very cute, too. Wait till you hear it.
Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo? Track 29. Then you can give me a shine. I can afford to board a Chattanooga Choo Choo. I've got my fare and just an inkling to spare. You leave old Pennsylvania Station about 3:45. Read the magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner on the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear the whistle blowing 8 to the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Hurry up and call in, gotta get a rollin'. Hoo-hoo, Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace, I used to call Funny Face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that'll never wrong. Oh, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace. I used to call my bunny, honey, funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, hooey, hooey, Chattanooga choo-choo, wee hoo-wee, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home?
Isn't Phil a ham? He even puts applause on the record. That was a good number, though.
Yes, indeed.
By the way, Peggy, I don't believe you've been in my music room before, have you?
No, I haven't, Jack. And you've got some lovely old pieces here. Who furnished it?
Harry's Hawk Shop.
I only got the melodeon there. You know, Peggy, if you look around, you can get some of the...
Uh-oh. Here comes your boarder.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to him. His arm's in a sling. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Billingsley.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Having company for dinner, I see.
Yes, yes. The others will be here pretty soon. Won't you have a seat?
Oh, thanks. I never touch 'em.
By the way, Mr. Billingsley, I noticed your arm's in a sling. How did you happen to break it?
I was putting on my long underwear this morning, and I fell off the ladder.
Oh, well, why do you have to climb a ladder to put on your underwear?
When I say long, I mean long.
Oh. Oh, I see. Won't you join us for dinner, Mr. Billingsley? We're having wild duck.
No, I'll have a glass of dressing later. Good night.
It's getting more eccentric every day. But who else would pay me $800 a week for room and board? An amazing character, you know.
Mr. Benny, can I speak to you confidentially? It's very important.
Oh, now what? Excuse me, folks. What is it, Rochester?
Boss, those ducks ain't never gonna get tender.
Why? What happened?
I just stuck a fork in one of them and it kicked gravy all over me.
Now, that's ridiculous. It probably slid in the pan. That's all.
You may be right, boss, but I don't think it would hurt to shoot them just once more.
Don't you dare. I shot those ducks. All you've got to do is cook them. I want dinner served as soon as Mr. and Mrs. Harris arrive.
But, boss...
Now get back to the kitchen. Dum beam bum bum ba beam ba bum dum dee dum dum da ding da dum dum. Oh, sorry, folks.
What's the matter, Jack?
Oh, Rochester's having a little trouble with the ducks. It seems... Well, everything will be all right now. Yes, sir.
Jack, what was that noise? It sounded like a gunshot.
How do I know? Well, folks, just as soon as There's someone at the door, Sylvester. Sylvester, answer the door.
That's dough, boss.
All right, answer the dough. And don't shuffle, just walk. Say, Don, would you like a cocktail before dinner? Eh, Don?
Definitely no.
Well, I can see who wears the pants in that family.
With Don's, there's room for both of them.
You said it.
Announcing Mr. and Mrs. Phil Harris.
Phil!
Hiya, Jackson.
And Alice!
Hello,
Phil,
Alice.
happy Thanksgiving.
Well, Alice, I'm sure happy you were able to come to dinner.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed it for anything, Jackson.
Jackson. She calls me Jackson. You know everybody here, don't you, Alice?
Hello, Alice.
Oh, why, Peggy, I haven't seen you since our trip to New York.
And Alice, you know Mary Livingston, huh?
Oh, why, of course I do. Hello, Mary. So nice seeing you again.
Hello.
Hello. That's a fine greeting.
Who cares how many fan clubs she's got?
Mary. Don't pay any attention to her, Alice. You see, Mary is always jealous of any girl that shines up to me.
Well, who's shining up to you?
Well, I mean that you...
Explain that, Jackson.
Don't get excited, Phil. Now, look, fellas, let's not have a brawl. I don't want duck stains all over the furniture. Well, this is the first time you've ever been to my house, isn't it, Alice?
Yes, and I think it's furnished in very good taste. What did you mean, Phil? I should wear my old clothes.
Why, Phil, you little rascal. Say, Mary, call up Luella Parsons and tell her Alice Faye is visiting me.
She'll never believe it.
She will, too. And call Harrison Carroll.
Say, Phil, I want to congratulate you on your performance last night in The Courtship of Miles Standish.
Yeah, it's the best play our night school ever put on, Don.
Oh, yes, Phil, you were excellent as Priscilla. But as long as you were playing the part of a girl, why didn't you shave before you went out on the stage?
I didn't want people to think I was on the level.
Well, it spoiled it a little for me. By the way, Phil, use the ashtray, Peggy. These rugs are expensive. By the way, Phil, that's a girl. By the way, Phil, Phil, did you get those flowers I sent you before the performance?
Oh, yeah, thanks for the Christmas anthemums.
Christmas anthemums?
Phil, I told you last night it's one word, chrysanthemum.
Oh, lay off, honey. I don't want no lecture on Thanksgiving.
Behave yourself, Phil, or I won't read that book to you anymore.
What book are you reading to him, Alice?
Oh, you know, Jack. A is for apple, so round and red. B is for butter. You spread it on bread.
What? Are you kidding?
C is for crackers. You eat 'em in bed. I know 'em all.
Gee, you'll be up to the Rover boys pretty soon. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm going to have a cocktail before dinner.
Oh, don't, Jack. You always act so silly.
I do not.
One cocktail, and it's, look, fellas, I'm a Spanish dancer.
Oh.
A Spanish dancer?
By that time, he's wearing a lampshade.
Well, someone's got to put a little life in the parties around this town. Oh, Sylvester.
Yowza, boss.
Go out in the kitchen and tell Rochester we're ready for dinner.
As a Gwen, hold that barge. Lift that bed.
Oh, shut up! Well, Alice, I hope you're good and hungry. I'm on a diet myself. You see, I have to be on account of the new picture I'm making.
I knew he'd get around to that.
Quiet. You see, I'm working opposite Carol Lombard, and I must look my best.
Well, Jack, I've seen you in pictures before, and as I recall, you always look very nice.
Yes, I imagine I do, but of course I look much younger on the screen.
Oh, much.
Mary. You know, Alice, now that we're both at 20th Century Fox, maybe you and I will be working together soon.
Who knows? I think we'd make a swell team.
Yes, you with your youth and beauty, and me with my suave, debonair charm.
You're right, Phil. He is hammy.
You know, Alice, the next time I see Mr. Zanuck...
Dinner is served, folks. Walk. Do not run to the dining room.
Oh, boy,
Now, this way, everybody.
That's for
Now,
me.
Don, you take Alice, Phil, you take Peggy, and Mary... Oh, Mary, call up Hedda Hopper and Jimmy Starr and Herb Stein. Tell them that Alice Faye's having dinner with me today.
Okay.
And call Sidney Skalski, too.
Skalski?
Yes.
Who's going to boost him up to the telephone?
He's got a ladder like Billingsley. All right, everybody, grab your seats and take your time now. There's plenty for all. Come on. We're all going to Boy, what a dinner.
Say, this dressing is delicious, Jack.
I'm glad you like it. Oh, Rochester, serve Mrs. Harris some more duck. Will you have another piece of duck, Alice?
No, thanks. I'm still chewing on my first piece.
Well, you've got beautiful teeth. Use them. I think the duck is very tasty, don't you, Mary?
Yeah, but the next time you go out shooting, be more careful. Mine's full of buckshot.
Mary, that's what that bowl is for. Dump the buckshot in a bowl.
Oh.
That's it. Personally, I think this is the finest meal that
Pass me that bowl, will you, Mary?
Here you are, Phil.
Thanks.
Well, I really banged away at that one, didn't I? But I still say this is a lovely dinner.
Yeah, everything from soup to lead.
Never mind, and have another cranberry.
One cranberry. You're supposed to have cranberry sauce.
Well, squash it. Are you helpless? What's the matter with you, anyway? Oh, Rochester,
Yes, boss.
bring me a sharper knife. I got Humphrey. Say, Alice, I have a real treat for you. After dinner, I'll take you downstairs and show you Carmichael, my polar bear.
Oh, that's swell. I love animals.
You do? Have you got any pets, Alice?
Oh, just Phil, my little reformed wolf.
Good. Yes, sir. Some more dressing, Don?
No, thanks. By the way, Jack, where's Dennis? Didn't you invite him to dinner?
Yes, I wonder what happened to the kid.
Me too.
Mary, now don't give it away. Oh, Sylvester, have we heard from Mr. Day?
Yeah, he phoned and left word that he was having dinner with Miss Hetty Lamar.
Hetty Lamar?
That boy sure gets around, don't he?
All right, Sylvester, stop leaning on the table and get busy. Enjoying the food, Peggy?
Oh, it's fine, Jack. And the dressing's delicious. What's in it?
I really don't know. Oh, Rochester,
Yes, boss.
what's in this dressing?
What ain't?
He's like all good chefs, Peggy, just won't give away his secrets. Get another bowl, Rochester. This one's full. Everything all right, Alice?
Oh, I've never been to such a novel dinner party. Imagine, Phil, I got a prize in my dressing.
A prize?
Uh-huh, look, a shoehorn.
That is a novelty, isn't it?
I got a Red Cross button in mine.
Well, hand it over. I joined yesterday. That reminds me everybody should, especially this year. Rochester, I think we'll have our dessert and coffee in the music room.
Okay,
That
boss.
is, if everybody's had enough duck. Well, come on, let's go in the music room.
What are we having for dessert, Jack?
What do you think?
I'll bet $1,000 it's Jell-O with that new locked-in flavor.
You win, Don. The flavor never goes away. They put it in and it's there to stay. Say, let's have some entertainment while we're waiting for the coffee.
Yeah, what do we do?
Well, we can... Oh, I know. Hey, look at me, fellas.
Jack, take that bowl of fruit off your head. You don't look anything like Carmen Miranda.
Well, somebody's got to entertain.
Well, what about Alice singing a song for us?
Yeah, what about it, Alice?
Come on, Alice, won't you sing a song?
Come on.
Come on, will you?
You hear that, Alice? Will you sing for us?
Wait till I finish chewing this duck, huh?
All right, and I'll tell you what. If you sing, I'll accompany you on the violin.
No, Jackson, no, not that.
All right. Come on, Alice. What's that song? Alice, what's that song you did in your new picture, Weekend in Havana?
You mean tropical magic?
Yeah, that's it. You sing Tropical Magic, and I'll pull rabbits out of a hat. Quiet, everybody. Alice is going to sing.
Tropical magic, strange fascination, moon of temptation, black velvet sky. Tropical magic, lost in your splendor, love will surrender to a passionate sigh. Whispering shadows out of a midnight, whisper mañana, but never goodbye. Music is playing tropical magic. You'll have me saying adios to my heart.
but never goodbye. Music is playing tropical magic. You'll have me saying adios to my heart, adios to my heart.
Well, anyway, folks, that's just about what happened at Jack's house last Thursday. Alice sang her song, and then we all played games and had a swell time. And just as we were leaving, we could hear Rochester calling Jack.
Benny! Mr. Benny!
What is it, Rochester?
What'll I do with all this duck that's left over?
Well, we can have it tomorrow night.
What about the mashed potatoes and all this drink?
Very tasty.
Okay,
Make a pie out of them. Cranberry pie is delicious, you know.
Okay. Oh, say, boss.
What?
I think we ought to turn this buckshot over to the government for national defense.
That's a very good idea. Early yet, so I'm going out to see a movie.
Is that still playing around?
I don't mean Charlie's Aunt. See you later.
Good night, boss.
Good night, Rochester.
One of Mary Livingston's favorite Jell-O desserts is a swell treat called peach and banana mold. Because I think you like it too, I'm going to pass it right along. It's an easy recipe to remember. Its main ingredients are canned sliced peaches, sliced bananas, and lime Jell-O. And you combine them like this. Make up 1 package of lime Jell-O as you usually do. Next, arrange 1/2 cup of canned sliced peaches on the bottom of the mold and pour the Jell-O over them. Then slice 1 banana into the Jell-O and chill until firm. When you unmold it, you'll have a beautiful 3-layer dessert. Golden peach slices on top, sliced bananas embedded on the bottom, and in between them and surrounding them, clear, glistening emerald lime Jell-O. Many grocers are featuring canned sliced peaches and lime Jell-O all next week. Get both and make up this grand treat. Just be sure when you buy to ask for Jell-O, because Jell-O's new locked-in flavor gives you all the flavor, always.
This is the last number of the 8th program in the current Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday at the same time. Well, Alice, it was awfully sweet of you to come over tonight and show the folks what happened last Thursday, and your song was really wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Jackson.
Jackson. She called me Jackson. Good night, folks.
Alice Faye appeared on our program tonight through courtesy of 20th Century Fox Pictures.
In gelatin desserts, it's Jell-O. In puddings, it's Jell-O pudding. And every well-stocked pantry should include them both. Jell-O puddings are rich, luscious desserts that you make with milk. And they come in 3 popular flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and butterscotch. Jell-O chocolate pudding is a pudding that even Grandma would be proud to make. It has a smooth, creamy, homemade goodness all its own. A mellow chocolate flavor developed exclusively for Jell-O puddings by the famous Walter Baker chocolate people. Tomorrow, when you order Jell-O, ask for Jell-O puddings. They're just like Grandma's, only more so. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program brought to you by Jell-O and Jell-O Pudding, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Relax. You know, friends, it's not really considered quite fair to open packages before Christmas, but of course there's one package that you can open any day with the whole family's hearty approval, and that's a package of Jell-O. Open a package and serve it tomorrow, and let the folks at your house enjoy Jell-O's wonderful new locked-in flavor. Jell-O's gay, scintillating colors add charm to any table. Lend a festive touch to any meal. Why, just to look at a bright, shimmering mold of Jell-O is enough to set appetites a-tingle. And when it comes to flavor, well, Jell-O is simply in a class by itself. There's just nothing that can beat Jell-O's rich, tangy taste. So full of intriguing flavors, so downright good and refreshing. Tomorrow, treat everybody to a tempting dish of Jell-O. Ask your grocer for all of Jell-O's 6 delicious flavors. They're all locked in, and they're all better than ever. That was Relax, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Yuletide season is here with all its joy and gaiety. So without further ado, we bring you a star to place atop your Christmas tree, Jack Benny.
Well, hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, that was quite a whimsical introduction. A star to place atop your Christmas tree. I suppose you said that because I'm a movie star. Is that right?
No, Jack, that wasn't my thought at all.
Oh.
I meant that you actually and physically resemble a star.
Well, I don't get it, Don. What do you mean?
Well, for instance, you've got a dash of silver in your hair.
Yes.
And you've always got a merry twinkle in your eye.
Yes, yes.
And the seat of your pants is always bright and shiny.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you're wearing the only pair of pointed shoes in Hollywood.
Now, wait a minute, Don. I'm not going to argue about the silver and the twinkle, and I'll even go along with the shiny pants. But these pointed shoes I've got on are very popular. They're French Schreiner and Erner's new bayonet model. They're very snappy, don't you think?
Snappy is right. But personally, Jack, I like a shoe that spreads out.
Listen, brother, any shoe you step into is doomed. Believe me.
Oh, I'm not so heavy on my feet.
You're not, eh? Don, your arches fell the first time your mother said, "Come on, Snookums, walk toward me." But speaking about these shoes I'm wearing...
Wow, get a load of them. Did vaudeville come back?
No, vaudeville didn't come back. Just so happens that for a change, I switched to a pointed, tight-fitting shoe.
Then where do you keep your money now?
I've got a hollow tooth. I can go along with a gag, sister. Now, let me tell you something, young lady. Any more of those Livingston Lulus tonight, and your invitation to my Christmas party next Thursday is automatically canceled. Remember that.
Oh, Jack, speaking of your party, what are you going to serve for dinner? Turkey, goose, or duck?
Ham hocks, and not another word about it. Come early, Don. You know, a lot of big movie stars are going to be there.
Movie stars? Name one.
Now, there'll be lots of them.
Come on, name one.
Oh, they'll be there.
Don't stall. Name one movie star that's going to be at your party.
All right, Rodney Dangerfield. I know he's coming because he already sent me a wire by Western Union.
Western Union I heard about, but who was Rodney Dangerfield?
Who is Rodney Dangerfield? Well, I'll be... Mary, did you see the Fargo Kid rides the Pony Express on the Santa Fe Trail at the Hitching Post Theater last week? Did you?
No.
Well, that was Rodney's greatest performance. If you could have seen him jump out of the second-story window of a burning building and gallop out of town on his horse, blazing away with his six-shooter in one hand and playing Tumbleweed Girl, I Love You on his guitar with the other. Well, what a scene.
Pretty thrilling, huh?
Was it? A kid sitting in back of me got so excited he beat me on the head with a stick of licorice. Anyway, you'll meet Rodney at my house next Thursday.
Well, who else is coming, Jack?
Well, you know, I'm making a picture with Carol Lombard, so naturally I had to invite her. And I also told her to ask Clark if he wanted to come.
Gee whiz, is Clark Gable going to be at your party?
Well, I'm not sure about him, but I got a definite no from Lombard. Let's see, and the Gary Coopers can't come, and the Henry Fondas had a previous engagement, and Bob Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck have a toothache.
Between them?
How do I know? And then Claudette Colbert can't come. She sprained her ankle.
I saw her dancing at the Macombo last night.
With that ankle? Poor kid. And then Errol Flynn can't make it. He's in New York, you know. Now, let's see. Oh, yes, Barney Dean. He's coming. I'm sure of that.
Well, here I go again. Who's Barney Dean?
Who's Barney Dean? Did you see Sergeant York?
Yes.
Well, he was a soldier in that. That's who. Anyway, Barney Dean will be there. And then I invited... Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Bub. Sorry I'm late, but I was across the street shooting pool.
Shooting pool? Well, let me ask you something, Phil. Who pays you your salary, me or the pool room?
Look, Jackson, if I didn't take the salary I get here and double it over there, I'd have to give up meat.
Too bad about you.
Hey, Phil, are you and Alice coming to Jack's party?
Oh, I don't know. Who's going to be there?
Everybody from Barney Dean to Rodney Dangerfield.
Don't run him down.
Hey, is Rod Dangerfield going to be at your party?
Yep.
Oh, that guy's terrific. I think he's darn near as good as Hoot Horowitz.
What do you mean, darn near as good? Did you see Rodney's latest picture, the Fargo kid rides the Pony Express on the Santa Fe Trail?
Yeah, I seen it last week.
That was a thriller, wasn't it?
You said it. I got so excited I hit some old bird in the front of me with my licorice stick.
Oh, ho! So that was you. You were at the Hitching Post Theater last Tuesday evening.
Not so loud, Jackson. I was playing hooky from my night school.
Oh. Well, don't worry. I won't squeal.
You better not, Sponger, or I'll have to drill you. A bang, a bang, a bang.
You're not a drilling me, son, because I'm the sheriff. A bang, a bang, a bang. Bang.
These two cowboys come to you through the courtesy of Jello, who are open for suggestions.
Never mind. We'll talk about the picture later, Phil. Now, how about a band number?
Okay.
Hold it. Come in.
Mr. Benny,
Yes.
am I going to be invited to your Christmas party? My name is Pigeon.
Walter Pigeon?
No, Dead Pigeon. A bang, a bang, a bang.
What a head he's got. That's the only grapefruit I ever saw that can take shorthand. He's my secretary, folks. Play, Phil. That was Popo Catapedal, played by Phil Harris and his Yuletide Orchestra. Yule meaning you'll have to go a long way to hear a band like this, and tide meaning I wish they'd go out with it. But no kidding, Phil. That number sounded swell. It was really the nuts. All right, Don. Phil's number was the nuts.
Oh, Jack, this one is utterly absurd.
Don, Phil's band number was the nuts.
You know it wasn't.
That's not the point. Come on, Don. Phil's band number was the nuts.
Oh, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, the next time you go to your neighborhood grocer...
You see?
Why not ask him for a package of Jell-O with its new locked-in flavor?
Now, here's the clever part, folks.
Oh, Jack, I'll never be able to face my friend.
Don Nuts!
Oh, very well. So whether your name is Hazel or Filbert, you will not regret buying this tempting and economical dessert. Buy Hickory.
Very good. Very good. There you are, Don. That was one of the most novel things I've ever written.
Oh, Jack, you didn't write that.
Yes, I did.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
You mean it came to you like a flash?
Like a bolt out of the blue.
Keep talking, brother. When I get the right lead, I'm going to murder you.
No, don't be so critical. That was a very clever commercial. Wasn't it, Dennis? Hey, where's Dennis?
Here I am and back at Mr. Wilson.
Oh.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. You gotta humor the kid. Say, Dennis, have you got a nice song prepared for today?
Yeah, but first I want to thank you for letting me come over to the studio the other day.
Oh, don't mention it.
That was a pretty hot love scene you did with Carol Lombard, by golly.
Yes, it was.
Gosh, when you grabbed her and gave her that big kiss, I got so excited I was quivering all over.
You were?
She didn't even move a muscle.
Never mind.
What's the matter with that girl?
I don't know.
Look, boy, she kisses Gable when she leaves home in the morning, and she kisses him when she gets back at night. Anything in between is strictly cheesecake.
Well, I don't want to be catty, but, oh, well, forget it. How about a song, Dennis? What's it going to be?
I'm going to sing a medley of Christmas carols.
Good. Oh, say, fellas, that reminds me. I've got to go home early tonight and do some work on my Christmas tree. I want to get it all trimmed up for the party. You want to come and help me, Mary?
Sure, why not?
Phil, after Dennis's song, you can play a few selections and fill out the program.
Well, that'll give me a chance to play a couple of high-class numbers like Kuzitz plays. Andre Costa... What's the rest of this here?
Lannis, Andra Castellanis. Oh, brother.
Well, why do you always embarrass me by making up them big words?
I didn't make up anything. That's the man's name. He's married to Lily Pond.
Her I can say.
Look, Phil, just accompany Dennis's song, then put on your hat and go home. Come on, Mary, let's get out of here. What's that? Come in.
Telegram. Special delivery for Mary Livingston.
Right here, Bud. Give him a tip, will you, Jack?
Okay. Here you are, boy. Here's $50 for you.
Thanks. I can go along with a gag. A boom.
You can louse it up, too. He had to put a boom on the end of it. Wasn't satisfied the way it was written. Had to put a boom. Anyway, I'd like to see one stooge in this town with hair. Come on, Mary.
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. This letter's from Mama.
You can read it in the cab. Come on.
Oh, let her read it now, Jack. Mary's mother's she's just a riot.
Oh, all right. I'm glad you got that out, too. If we had an hour program, we'd be very successful here. You know that. All right, read your mother's letter, Mary. What's the head of Hopper of Plainfield got to say?
My darling daughter, Mary, just a line to let you know that Christmas is almost here, and as yet I have not received your ekche.
Ekche?
But don't get me wrong. If your check has been delayed in the mail, I take back everything I'm thinking.
How can anybody be so mercenary?
Your sister Ethel and her husband are here for the holidays and will spend several weeks with us. Inasmuch as they live right next door, I think this is an imposition.
Oh, I don't know.
Quiet. You ought to see your sister's new baby. Everybody says it's a regular little doll, and they're right. It looks just like Popeye.
Well, no wonder, after all, your sister is no Rose. And that husband of hers, does he still sell bluing house to house?
No, he's a vanilla extract man now.
Oh, vanilla extract man. Oh, he's going places. Come on, finish the letter.
Speaking of Christmas, I saw your father tiptoeing up the stairs last night with a great big package over his shoulder. I was thrilled to death until I found out the package was your Uncle Willie.
Boy, was he full of vanilla.
No more news, except that your brother Bacardi...
Bacardi?
Papa named him off a bottle.
Oh.
Except that your brother Bacardi was turned down by the Army on account of flat feet, chest, and head. Also, his hands drag on the ground when he walks.
Gee, his nails must be a mess.
Love to all, Mama.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's the P.S. Tell Jack I heard him do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the program a few weeks ago. What a Pew Foreman.
Pew Foreman? Let's see that. Well, I'll be darned. If I'd have known this was going to happen, I'd have put another cup of water in that perfume I sent her. Sing, Dennis. See you Christmas, fellas. Come on, Mary. Let's get over to the house.
Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Away in a manger, no crib for his bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the heavens looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep in the hay. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hope proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Right up here, buddy. It's that big white house with the iron reindeer on the lawn.
Okay, pal.
Boy, look at that meter, $1.50.
Oh, driver, how much do I owe you?
Like she said, $1.50.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what. How would you like to match? $3 or nothing.
Double or nothing? Okay, pal.
I'm matching you. Just a second. Okay, here goes. Come on, lift up.
Well, so long, pal.
Darn that Rochester, why doesn't he answer the door? I have to stand here all night?
Oh, take it easy, Jack. Calm down. What's $3?
It's not the money. I don't believe in gambling. Don't talk to me. I feel awful.
Why don't you take off one of those shoes and cut your throat?
Mary, I'm in no mood for any...
Good evening, boss. Happy Yuletide.
Rochester, you were late answering the door, and I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm fining you $3. You understand?
I wish the stock market would come back that fast.
Never mind. Any messages, Rochester?
Yes, sir. Mr. Charles Boyer called and said he won't be able to attend your Christmas party.
Why not?
You got me, boss. He gave his excuse in French.
Well, that's the sneakiest thing I ever heard of. Any other messages?
Yes, Lady Mendel phoned. Said she got your lovely invitation, and who are you?
Does she ever go to the movies, for heaven's sake? Come on, Mary, the tree is in the library. Bring my slippers, Rochester.
Your slippers?
Yes.
Lounging, bedroom, or ballet?
I'm in no mood for a ballet dance, believe me. Bring in my lounging slippers.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Mary. While I'm putting the star on top of the tree, you can be hanging popcorn balls on the branches.
Oh, is your tree going to have branches this year?
Yes, it's going to have branches.
Well, I think the one you had Uh-oh, here comes your boarder.
Yeah. I wonder why he's carrying that hatchet. Hello, Mr. Billingsley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Benny. Home a little early, I see.
Yes, I have some work to do around the house. Oh, Mr. Billingsley, what are you doing with that hatchet? Are you a Boy Scout now?
No, I'm going out to dinner later, and when I say chopped chicken liver, that's what I mean.
I see.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye.
Keep 'em flying.
I can't understand Mr. Billingsley lately. You know, Mary, he slept under his bed last night. He hung onto the springs like a bat. You know? Weird fellow. Well, there you are. There's my Christmas tree, Mary. Isn't it nice?
Yeah, that's the biggest one you ever had. Where'd you get it?
Got it just north of Redwood City. Well, let's start with the decorations. Mary, you hang up these candy canes, and I'll... Rochester, what happened to that box of popcorn balls we had in the closet?
I got bad news, boss. There's nothing in there now but a big fat mouse.
Darn it, I'm short of ornaments. Gotta have something to hang on that tree.
Yes, those socks look awful by themselves.
The socks are coming off as soon as they're dry. I wanted popcorn balls to add a little... Say, I have an idea. How would oranges look there?
Oranges?
Yeah, I've got a backyard full of them. I'll go out and pick some. Meanwhile, start with those candy canes, Mary. I'll be right back. Jingle bells, yum bum 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 dum dum dum. $3. I had to match them. Yum dum 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 bum 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 bum. Oh well. Jingle bells, yum dum tee. Let's see. I think there's some big ones in this tree over here. Yeah, these will be fine. They're nice, big, juicy ones. I'll take about a dozen. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hello, mister. What are you doing?
Hello. 6. Oh, hello, little girl. Where did you come from?
I was just looking around your yard. Where's your polo bear?
My polar bear? Oh, he's asleep for the winter. Do you live around here?
Yes, we just moved into that new house next to Ronald Coleman's.
Oh, next to Ronald Coleman's. Oh, that's swell. We're going to be neighbors, aren't we?
Uh-huh. You're Jack Benny, aren't you?
That's right. That's who I am.
Gee, I heard you do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the radio. What a performance!
Hey, it was pretty good. Say, little girl, your face is kind of familiar. Haven't I seen you in pictures?
You might have. My name's Carolyn Lee.
Oh, Carolyn Lee. Yeah. Well, this is certainly a surprise. So little Miss Lee is my neighbor.
You can call me Carolyn.
Good. And you can call me Jack.
Okay, Jack.
Gee, she's cute. Say, Carolyn, are you going to be busy Christmas morning?
I don't know why.
Well, I had a telephone call from Santa Claus last night, and he told me he was going to leave a beautiful present under my tree, especially for you.
Well, let's analyze this. How did Santa Claus know you were going to meet me?
Oh, he even knows about things before they happen. He knows everything. And that's why we've got to be real good, especially around Christmas.
Then why are you picking Mr. Coleman's oranges?
Look, Carolyn. These aren't Mr. Coleman's oranges. What hangs over the fence is mine. Now, let me tell you something about Santa Claus, Carolyn. Every year at this time, he makes a list of good little boys and girls, and when they wake up Christmas morning...
Hey, boss, come in here.
I'll be with you in a minute. And, Carolyn, if these old boys and girls have been real good...
You gotta come in now, boss. Mr. Billingsley's chopping down the Christmas tree.
What? Chopping down the tree? See you later, Carolyn. Mr. Billingsley! Mr. Billingsley, Mary, stop him!
It's too late now!
Timber! Oh, my goodness, I knew I should have taken away his hatchet.
What a combination. Golden apricots and rich, shimmering lemon jello. That's the swell blend that makes Jello apricot rings such a grand treat. Just sliced canned apricots and lemon jello, deliciously molded into one of the most tempting desserts you ever tasted. And one of the easiest, too. Simply dissolve one package of lemon jello in 1 1/4 cups of hot water. Next, add a dash of salt and 3/4 cups of syrup from the canned apricots. Then chill until thickened and fold in 2 1/2 cups of the sliced canned apricots themselves. When molded, served with a garnishing of whipped cream, apricot quarters, and green maraschino cherries. And there's a dessert you just can't beat for taste and attractiveness. Juicy sliced apricots blended with the richness of sunny lemon jello. So get them both and make up this delightful treat. Jello makes any gelatin dessert taste extra good because the locked-in process protects the flavor for your complete enjoyment.
We're a little late, so good night, folks, and Merry Christmas to all.
Remember, tomorrow when you order Jello puddings, too, in all 3 flavors. Jello puddings are just like Grandma's, only more so. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles.
The Abbott and Costello program, brought to you by Camel, the cigarette that's first in the service. Listen to the music of Freddie Rich and his orchestra, the songs of Connie Haynes, tonight's guest Peter Lorre, and starring Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Costello, where have you been? Look at you. Your clothes are dripping wet. There's water running out of your shoes. What happened to you?
Oh, I stopped to get a drink at the faucet outside the street.
Faucet?
Yeah.
You dummy, that's no faucet. That's a fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant?
Yes.
No wonder I went halfway to Pomona by gutter.
Ah.
Gee, 3 G's. I gotta get these wet
clothes off. Because if I don't get... Now, what's the matter? Please, how many times have I told you when you sneeze the other way?
I don't know any other way.
Hey, please, talk sense, will you? Do you realize you've probably caught a cold? Do you want the germs to spread?
Oh, I won't let them spread.
How can you keep germs from spreading?
I'll make them wear a girdle.
Oh. Now, that's ridiculous. You've got a cold in your head. How are you going to keep that cold in your head from going down into your chest?
I'll tie a knot in my neck. Hey, Abbott, what are you talking about? You're not so healthy.
Oh, I'll have you know, my friend, that I keep regular hours. Every night I go to bed with the chickens.
How do you all get in that little coop?
No, I'm trying to tell you that I go to bed early, and I'm up at the crack of dawn. Then I go out and chop wood for breakfast.
Chop wood for breakfast? How can you eat that stuff?
Listen, Costello, I chop wood for exercise. For example, every morning I jump out of bed and crawl around the room on all fours.
You crawl around on all fours?
Yes, that's the athlete in me.
Athlete? That's the monkey in you, brother.
Oh, hey, here's Ken Niles. Say, I'm glad you dropped in, Ken. Take a look at Costello. He doesn't feel very well.
Oh, just let some of the air out of his head. He'll be all right.
I mean, you got a lot of nerve there, Niles. I mean, talking like that. Well, with such a swell head like you got.
Oh, I'll have you know I'm not swell-headed.
Oh, yeah? You're the only guy I know who gets the mumps above the ears.
Now, take it easy, Costello. You're a sick man.
Who's a sick man? I'm all right. I just got a little...
Good heavens, Bud. Did you hear Costello sneeze?
What's wrong with the way I sneeze with a little thing like that? What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it? Well, if you have to sneeze, why don't you sneeze with your mouth closed?
I tried that once and blew out 3 of my teeth.
Now, wait a minute, Costello. Your sneezing is dangerous. I can catch your cold, then go home and my beautiful wife will get it in her lovely throat.
Her lovely throat?
Yes, Costello. Mrs. Niles has a neck like a swan.
Yes, and she's got webbed feet to match.
Oh, I heard that remark. And Mr. Costello, you might be interested in knowing that all my friends think I have perfect features.
Is that your nose, or are you looking through a periscope?
Oh, stop that. Don't pay any attention to Costello, Mrs. Niles. You see, he's got a cold and we're trying to help him.
Well, you know the old saying, starve a cold. Now, the first thing to do is to put him on a diet. No carbohydrates, no liquids, and no solids. You think you can stick to that diet, Costello?
Sure. Then what?
Then Kenneth and I'll split your rations.
Oh, nice going. I heard you the first time. You're going to split it.
Oh, that was almost a wonderful joke, Poochie.
Oh, don't say that, darling. You're my Poochie.
No, you're my Poochie.
No, you're my Poochie.
If there's a dog catcher in the house, what are you waiting for?
Come, Kenneth. And as for you, Costello, I hope your cold is nothing trivial.
Well, I don't blame them for going out. The only way to avoid the flu is to flee.
What's that?
I mean, you've got to flee flu.
Gotta flee flu? What kind of talk is that?
I'm trying to tell you the only way to be free from flu is to flee when flu flies. When there's flu, everybody flees.
Did you say flees?
Certainly. I flee, you flee, he flees, she flees.
What, I got a cold or a flea circus?
You don't understand. To avoid the flu, you've got to flee.
I gotta flee. Get him off of me then. Get him off. I don't want any fleas.
No. I don't mean fleas like bugs. I mean fleas like flies.
Oh, let the fleas like flies. I don't want to break up no romance.
Look, it has nothing to do with fleas and flies. I'm trying to tell you, to avoid the flu, you must flee. The only way to be free from flu is to flee when flu flies.
Oh, you mean that to be free from flu, I gotta flee when flu flies. And the fleas and flies have got nothing to do with the flu.
Now you've got it.
Now I've got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, let me put it this way. You're in the house. You open the window, and a cold germ comes in.
A cold germ comes in?
Yes. What would you do?
I'd give him a cup of hot tea. Who wants a shivering germ out of the house?
Now, that's crazy. This cold germ attacks you and immediately starts to germinate. Before you know it, you've got a lot of nasty germs rushing through your system.
According to my system, the Russians are rushing through the Nazi Germans.
Well, that's true, Costello, but I'm talking about flu germs. Do you realize that germs travel with the speed of light? Now, one little sneeze... What? Huh? There you are. There you are. The germs are off. They've already traveled from California to Maine. They are now crossing the Atlantic.
I didn't even say goodbye to him.
Costello, right now, at this very minute, someone in Europe is catching your cold. Hello?
Meine Freunde, das letzte Mal, alle zusammen hier, letzte Woche, im großen Schreiben, alle zusammen,
Well, I sure fixed it out.
What do you mean?
He's just sneezing now. The coffin will come later.
Freddie Rich and the orchestra dress up an old favorite, Alone Together.
Listen, Abbott, I'm telling you, I haven't got the flu. Now, get me out of this bed. Now, come on, get me out.
Now, stop that screaming, Costello. You want me? Just pull that cord by the bed.
Oh, I did.
And what happened?
My pajamas fell down. Now, Abbott, if I had to stay in bed, why didn't you give me some attention?
What are you talking about? Didn't I put some cracked ice on your head?
Yeah, but you didn't have to wait till you got the ice on my head before you cracked it. Now, Abbott, for the last time, I'm telling you, what am I doing in bed?
Well, it's part of the health building course I got from Professor Hercules. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to get out of bed at 5 o'clock. Then at 5:10...
Back in bed.
No. At 5:10, you jump into a nice, cold shower.
And I whistle.
You don't whistle.
I gotta whistle.
Why?
Well, there's no lock on a bathroom door.
Look, pay attention. At 5:10, you jump into the shower. Can't you just feel the ice-cold water running down your back? Huh? No. Now, stop that. Stop that.
It's cold.
Stop it. Then at 5:20...
Back in bed with a hot water bottle.
Listen. At 5:20, you take a bouncing horseback ride. 5:40...
Back in bed, face down.
Then at 6 o'clock, an hour of wrestling. 7 o'clock, 2 hours of handball. 9 o'clock, you walk 30 miles with a heavy pack on your back. And 12 to 1, you climb a mountain.
12 to 1, I don't make it.
Oh, you idiot. You never listen to me. Just wait till you see Hercules. Exercise has given him bulging biceps, rippling muscles, a massive chest. He's the strongest man in the world, the mighty Hercules. Come in.
I am the mighty Hercules. Honest, I am. Honest.
See, Costello? Take a look at Hercules. Get a load of that muscle.
What muscle? The last time I saw a muscle like that was on a sparrow's ankle. You know, I could chalk his head and use him for a pool cue.
Costello?
Well, he reminds me of a radio program I heard. One man's famine.
Mr. Costello, as I analyze your case, my treatment for you should not be postponed. Let me show you what my course can do for you. Hand me the telephone book and I will tear it. Are you ready? And now the second page.
Now, look, Hercules, what's so great about that? I can bend bars with my bare hands.
Iron bars?
No, Hershey bars. And I'll do it the hard way, with nuts.
Costello, now don't be silly. You're talking to the mighty Hercules.
Yeah, Mr. Costello, I'm a master muscle.
You're a mess of something, brother. And while I'm on the subject, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just feel my muscle.
Where is it? All I can feel is one little corpuscle.
Yeah, but ain't it got a hard head?
Oh, this is ridiculous. Professor, why don't you give Costello a demonstration of your strength?
Very well. Mr. Costello, I'm going to let you squeeze my hand as hard as you like. Go ahead. Squeeze my hand.
Okay.
You asked for it. Gee, thanks, Mr. Costello.
Thanks for what?
My draft board will never accept me now.
Look, Abbott, for the last time I tell you there's nothing wrong with it. Now you got to get me out of this bed. Now give me a lift.
All right. What was that?
I got my nose caught in the bed spring.
Come in.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Peter Lorre. Oh, Mr. Costello, I've come here to offer you the services of my sanitarium. I understand your health is run down.
Now, wait a minute, Laurie. Who told you all this?
Oh, nobody. You see, I get messages through my brain. My mind is like an open door.
What do you hear from the knob?
Quiet, Costello. Let me handle this. Mr. Lorre, you say you have a private sanitarium?
Oh, yes, and it's just the place for Mr. Costello. It is out in the woods, in a very lonely spot, where he can get away from it all. Far, far away.
I don't want to get that far away. Get me closer to town now. Get a lot of people around me, too. Ring those bells. Blow those horns. Blow those horns.
Please,
Noise. I gotta have it. When you're around, I gotta have noise.
But please, Mr. Costello, you're scaring me.
I'm scaring you.
Costello, there's no sense in shouting.
That's right, Mr. Costello. Let us speak low.
I don't want to speak low. I always talk loud. Hooray! Happy New Year! Get around, everybody. Here's some John Charles Thomas. On the road to
Yes. Never mind. Just a minute, please. People are wrong in the place. That's enough.
Hey, they like it.
Yeah, never mind. Look, pay no attention to him.
Where's this Frank Sinatra?
Will you... Never mind. Pay no attention to him, Mr. Lorre. I'll bring Costello out to your sanitarium tonight.
Oh, yes, please. And at midnight, I hope. When the moon is down.
No, tomorrow when the sun is up. Way up! Plenty of light, brother. Lots of light. We're going to turn on a searchlight.
Costello, you're acting like an idiot.
Yes, Mr. Costello. I've had thousands of patients at my sanitarium, and I've never had one of them complain. You know what that proves, don't you?
Yes, sir. Dead men tell no tales. Get me out of here!
Connie Haynes sings the new hit tune, I Couldn't Sleep Awake Last Night.
I couldn't sleep awake last night because we had that silly fight. I thought my heart would break the whole night through. I knew that you'd be sorry, and I'm sorry too. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which I hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see if everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning, 'cause I couldn't sleep a wink last night. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which I hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see if everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning, 'cause I couldn't sleep or wink last night.
And now back to Abbott and Costello, who are en route to Peter Lorre's sanitarium. The time is midnight.
Well, Costello, we'll be at Peter Lorre's sanitarium in a minute. He's a great doctor, Costello. He'll see that you get some rest and peace.
That's what bothers me. I don't want to rest in peace.
Quiet. Listen, a friend of mine was just about to die, and Dr. Lorre pulled him over the hump.
Which way?
Well, here it is. Peter Lorre Sanitarium, 1313 Gravesend Road.
What an address. Look at the sign on the gate. Deliver all bodies in the rear.
All right, now stop complaining. Look how quiet and peaceful it is out here.
That's the first robin I've heard this spring.
Oh, shut up.
Quite a part, wasn't it?
You know, Lou, this is the kind of a place I've always wanted to visit. Look at that green stuff clinging to the gate.
That green stuff clinging to the gate is me.
Now, don't be such a coward. Go ahead up to the door and knock.
Oh, so you think I'm a coward, huh? Okay, yeah, but I'll prove you I'm a hero. I'll be brave. I'll show you what I'm made of. I'll knock on the door. I'll go in there. But before I do, there's just one thing I want you to do for me.
What's that?
Talk me out of it.
Now, none of that. Go ahead. Knock on the door. Don't be afraid. Why, Peter Lorre may not even be at home.
He's home, all right.
How do you know?
I see a straitjacket hanging on the line.
Costello, once and for all, will you please knock on the door?
Okay. All right.
How do you do, gentlemen? Did you ring? No, I knocked. I thought I heard you whistle. Let me have your hat, please.
Don't you want the coat, too?
No, just the hat.
Just the hat. Who are you?
I'm a skull. I'm just going out for a walk.
Come on, Abbott, that's all. Let's get out of here!
Shh, quiet. Here comes Peter Lorre.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to my sanitarium. Now come, Mr. Costello. Let me take you over. Here, close to the fire.
Come on, no pushing, Lorre. Quit shoving. Hey, Abbott, help me now. Come on, help me out here.
Costello.
The guy's pushing me on the fire.
No, nothing of the kind. What's the matter with you?
Yes, I mean you no harm. It's cold out tonight. You must be killed. Chilled.
I heard you the first time, brother. Get what I'm calling brother.
Please do not excite yourself, Mr. Costello. All I want you to do is to take a pill.
I'm not taking no pill. I'm taking a powder. Now! Come on, Abbott.
Wait a minute, Costello. If you want to cure your cold, you've got to listen to Dr. Lorre.
Abbott, I'm not sick. All I did was let out a little a sneeze.
You see, you must not minimize your illness. Here, take this little blue pill.
I ain't taking no pill.
You heard the man. Take the blue pill.
Oh, you always went out. Okay. Oh,
good. Now take this red pill.
What's the red pill for?
Oh, that's in case the blue pill was poisoned.
Get away with those pills, Mr. Lorre, will you?
Just a minute. Be calm. Take it easy. Relax.
I don't want to relax. I want to jump. Come on, everybody, get up. Let's dance. Come on. I'll leave me with this guy.
You see, Doctor? You see, Doctor?
Sounds like I'm alone.
You See, Doctor, I told you that Costello was in bad shape. What he really needs is some exercise.
Oh, splendid. Let's go out and play some golf.
Golf? At midnight?
Oh, yes. Oh, last night I played a fine game with my friend Frankenstein.
Now, there's a gruesome twosome.
Oh, it was a very interesting game. Frankenstein made a hole in one, so I buried him in it. You know, I play a very hot game.
Hot game? You probably play in the lower Hades. The lower Hades.
Oh, doctor.
Excuse me, please. That's one of my patients.
Oh, doctor. I just killed my keeper.
Yeah.
I just killed my keeper.
But why did you kill him?
He killed me first.
Hey, Abbott, now that guy wasn't kidding. Now, there's a body behind the couch.
Is he dead?
I can't tell. His head is missing.
Say, Costello, look. The body is getting up.
Abbott, he's coming towards me. Listen, mister. You're dead, ain't you?
Yes, I am dead.
Then why aren't you laying down?
If you must know, the floor is too cold.
That's the last straw. I'm getting out of here.
Now, stop worrying. There's nothing wrong with this place. What was that?
1 o'clock. Let's go.
Mr. Costello, I think you're running a temperature. I must call my assistant.
Who's your assistant, Dracula?
Oh, no. I'm mad at him. I caught him stealing from my blood bank.
Dr. Laurie, the operating table's all ready.
What? What operating table? You ain't operating on me. I'm not hungry.
You're not hungry?
You heard me. I don't want any cold cuts.
Oh, I must insist, Mr. Costello. My diagnosis shows that the sneeze caused your cold, which caused poison to run through your system. This has affected your appendix, and your appendix must come out. Put him on the operating table, boys.
The first guy that touches me gets a fat lip.
Now, that's no way to talk. You must follow your doctor's advice if you ever expect to get well.
Okay, then. Laurie, I'll let you take out my appendix on one condition.
Good. What's the condition?
You gotta take it out from the back.
From the back? From the back?
That's right.
But why?
Because I got a battleship tattooed on my stomach. And he is liable to sink it.
Oh, get out!
And now, here's Abbott and Costello with the final word.
Thanks, Ken. Well, Peter Lorre, it certainly was nice to have you with us tonight.
Yes, I certainly
That's not your line, please.
Excuse me.
Oh, thank you, Bud. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Costello. I hope you didn't mind coming to my sanitarium. You should come again sometime.
I will. On Visitor's Day.
Oh, another thing, Mr. Costello. You should take care of your cold. You see, flu flies, and in order to be free from flu, you must flee when flu flies.
Say it again, Laurie.
All right, I will.
I mean without the script.
Oh, get out of here. Good night, folks. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mom.
Again next week for another great Abbott and Costello show with a great Gildersleeve. This is Ken Niles saying good night from Hollywood.
K-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program brought to you by Jell-O and Jell-O Pudding, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Jump for Joy. What rich, thrilling enjoyment you get from today's new Jell-O. Now made better than ever by Jell-O's wonderful locked-in flavor. Here's one of the biggest improvements ever made in gelatin desserts. A new scientific method by which Jell-O's full original goodness is locked right into the tiny Jell-O particles. The gelatin desserts you used to buy continually lost flavor during the days they spent in the package. They became flat and tasteless as time stole away their freshness. But the new Jell-O is different. Today, all of Jell-O's bright, tingling flavor is locked into Jell-O's crystal-like particles, locked in for keeps where time can't touch it, no matter how long your Jell-O remains in the package. Just prove it for yourself. Open a package of Jell-O. Notice there's no heavy, fruity aroma that tells of escaping flavor. Then dissolve the Jell-O. And presto, you unlock its captive delight, and out pours a delicious flood of flavor. Don't wait another day to try it, friends. Order several packages of the new Jell-O tomorrow. The flavor never goes away. We put it in, and it's there to stay. That was Jump for Joy, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, next Thursday is Thanksgiving, and no doubt most of you will have turkey for dinner.
That's right.
So this evening, without further ado, we bring you a chestnut for your dressing, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, thanks so much for that introduction. It was not only topical, but flopical. Chestnut for your dressing.
Well, in my opinion, Jack, it was a very clever gag. I thought of it all by myself while I was shaving this morning.
And you didn't cut your throat? I can't understand it. Anyhow, Don, it'll soon be Thanksgiving, and I love you. By the way, would you and the little woman like to come over to my house next Thursday for a nice wild duck dinner?
Thanks, Jack. We'll be very glad to. Wild duck, huh?
Yep, I went hunting yesterday morning, and as usual, I brought home the limit, 3 ducks. Beauties, too.
But, Jack, the